Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, before we start off this video, I'd like to make two apologies. First, I'd like to apologize for not bringing you a weekly roundup video last week. It was due to unavoidable circumstances, and I would also like to apologize for bringing you this week's update late. Usually I post it early in the morning, but then this is due to power failure in our Tejo show transmitting station, as they say at NTA. So unavoidable circumstances, but nevertheless guys, I bring you this. So 5 stories for this week, and what a week it has been. We're starting off with the Amotekun situation, the Southwest Nigeria security outfit that has been set up to counterweigh against the marauding Fulani herdsmen, who you all know of course are Malam Buhari's tribesmen. So Malam Buhari is now seeking to seize control of Amotekun, and that is all detailed in this video, so enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we all knew that the celebration of the launch of the Amotekun Southwest Security Organization was a bit premature, because we knew that the Fulanis would move against it, and move against it they have done, as Malam Buhari moves to seize control of Amotekun. As guys, I bring you this. Afenifere others reject control of Amotekun by Nigeria's Inspector General of Police. So Malam Buhari has now moved to seize control of that Southwest security outfit, an outfit that was set up, by the way, to counterweigh against the banditry of Malam Buhari and the Inspector General of Police's tribesmen, who are marauding throughout Yoruba land, ravaging and savaging. So they are now looking to seize control of that outfit now that has been launched by the Yoruba people, as again Afenifere others reject control of Amotekun by Nigeria's Inspector General of Police. So now let's now see what the battle is between the Yorubas and the Malamis. Yoruba socio-political organization Afenifere has rejected plans by the Nigerian government to use the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, to determine and control the structure of Amotekun and other security outfits in the states. National Publicity Secretary of Afenifere, Yinka Odumakin, disclosed this whilst speaking to correspondents on Wednesday in reaction to a statement credited to the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu. Odumakin said the plan by the Inspector General of Police to determine and control the structure of Amotekun and other security outfits in states was an attempt aimed at muzzling and whittling down the operations of such outfits using command and control. Odumakin said it was an indication that the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government was not interested in the security of lives and properties of Nigerian citizens. He said that the Southwest region would resist any attempts to truncate or thwart the operations of Amotekun, which is backed by law passed by the 6 states parliaments. He said they are not interested in the security of Nigerians. What they are interested in is command and control, and to be in charge. The moment you submit Amotekun to the control of the Inspector General of Police, that is the end of it. We will reject such a move. Commander of Ondo State Security Network Agency, Adetunji Adeleye, said the Amotekun Corporation cannot be subsumed under the guise of community policing by the Nigerian government. Adeleye told correspondents that Amotekun was a grassroots security outfit that already had its own legal backing. He said the security outfit was established to complement efforts of existing security agencies in the Southwest region to curtail crime. Adeleye said the Amotekun Corporation is a baby of the law set up for policing and protection of its own people. You cannot subject the structure of the Amotekun Corporation to the directive from the Inspector General of Police or any other legal entity. all Amotekun does is to complement all existing security agencies in the country, including the police. The Constitution guarantees states to also have its own security outfit. So far, they are backed up by laws guiding their operation. There is a law put in place which has even been passed by state houses of assembly guiding the operations of the Amotekun Corporation, whilst noting that the state was not against the government to create community policing. Adeleye said they have already fashioned out a way to protect people of the region. On his own part, the spokesman of the United Niger Delta Energy Development Security Strategy, Tony Urata, said Garba Shehu had a right to his views but cannot decide for the people on how they would secure their lives and property in the face of the challenges of insecurity confronting the nation. He called on the governors in the South-South and Southeast to team up in solidarity and support the Southwest governors to ensure that Amotekun was not hijacked by the federal Nigerian government. Urata said, "We seize this opportunity to call on governors and state parliaments of Southeast and South-South states to expedite the process of establishing their own regional security outfit and demand that they solidarize with the government of the Southwest to ensure that Amotekun was not hijacked by the federal government in any way." So this is now the latest position now with this now thing. So you can see the one thing that we can all agree on is that the Nigerian project is a failed project. So we can all agree on that, but what that means we might not all agree on, because of course the Nigerian project is a failed project, but then what happens next is the next question. So a lot of people, at least some people within some parts, are of the thought that it's a complete secession is really the solution to break the country up and form nations within it, because there's sufficient enough of nations within the Nigerian state to stand independently. There are over 60 million Igbo people. That is almost twice the size of Ghana, and Ghana is a standalone country. It's almost 6 times the size of Togo. There are about 60-70 million Yoruba people as well. That's almost 10 times the size of Benin Republic. So there's enough within Nigeria to break away. So there's a school of thought that secession is really the solution to this. There's another school of thought that confederation is really the solution to it, and that school of thought is the school of thought that has been brought up within the Nigerian setting, and they have no other identity outside of being Nigerian, and they want to hold on to that, but not in its present configuration. So that school of thought would have Nigeria be a confederation, so that it will be a loose arrangement. So the northern regions will have their regions, the eastern regions will have their regions. If the South-South wants to have their region, they can have their region, and the Yoruba certainly will have their regions too. So we have almost autonomy within our own region to self-determine, and the things that then we converge under are things like national security, etc., etc. So a loose and a very weak, not so potent central governance with a very strong regional governance within it. So that's the confederate sort of system that the other school of thought would have you follow as a direction for the future of the country, because of course we have had 60, nearly 70 years of this continuum of this Nigerian experiment, and there has never been any point in time that the Nigerian project was ever a success. It has always been a failure all the way through. So now, coming up to 70 years old, it is now time for us now to put our hands up and say that what these British people left behind is a complete failure. Because if you look at the configuration of Nigeria, it's like made up of totally disparate people. The mindset of a Fulani man is as removed from the mindset of a Yoruba man, as so that the Fulani man or the Yoruba man might well be a China man. So the difference between the mindset of a Fulani man and a Yoruba man could well be the difference between a Fulani man, a Yoruba man, and a Chinese man. It's a totally completely different worldview, orientation, everything. And we can say that for the Igbos as well. So we're completely different in our orientation. We're completely different in our worldview. We're completely different in what is important to us. We're completely different in the entirety of all of the differences that makes up the human dynamic. But then, of course, you can say that it is that difference that makes us unique. And I can agree with that to some extent. But then we have not then meshed together enough, because the Fulani man will only look to his own. I mean, you can only look at Malam Buhari to see the example. Wall-to-wall Fulani governance. Every appointment is a Fulani man, even though they are not qualified and they are not educated, but he only trusts his own people from his region and his religion. So that is a mindset right there. The only person really that really leans towards the Nigerian project is probably the Yoruba man, because we understand that if we get that Nigerian project right, the potency is a global potency. But the Igbos are already fed up with it. They want to go their own way. The Northerners just see it as an opportunity to loot petrodollars, and they will continue to loot petrodollars till somebody finds a way to stop them. Of course, they are never going to stop looting the petro. Why would they stop looting the petrodollars when there's no reason to do that? So the Nigerian experiment is a failed experiment, and the panacea now, the beginnings of the regionalization of the Nigerian entity, is this Amotekun now. So if we are able to push through this Amotekun project and have it under our own autonomy, so effectively a Southwest security outfit, if we can get it together and get it registered and have it under our control, then we can easily or gradually ease the Nigerian police force off our streets, because it would then be duplicitous, because we have our own security agencies. So there's no need to have the Nigerian, so they can stay either in their barracks or move to the borders or go to the north. So if we have that and we create our own economy, I think there's oil in Lagos and Ondo, and so already the beginnings of an autonomous nation is starting to spring, and there's nothing that establishes and speaks autonomy more than a security force. Conversations in the comment section, the fight back from the Fulanis, as ever, is led by Malam Buhari, and the pushback this time around is against the Yorubas. Come share thoughts, but before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop on a video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Come tell me then in the comment section this move that Malam Buhari is making to seize control of Amotekun, what you are making of it. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So we're still sticking with the theme of the Fulani versus Yorubas, as we go to now a beef that is going on between El Rufai, the short little governor of Kaduna State, and the Nigerian Bar Association. Now, the Nigerian Bar Association, of course, is not a Yoruba association, but there is a strong representation of Yorubas amongst the legal profession in Nigeria. So now the Nigerian Bar Association has withdrawn its invitation to Malam El Rufai because to come and speak at their conference, that is, because of simmering public outcry against it, and that is all detailed in this next video, so enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, for all of their might and all of their banditry and all of their ways, the one thing that the semi-educated or above Malami wants is the approval of the Southerners, especially the Yoruba people, because out of the whole of the entirety of the Nigerian space, if you want to look to civilized conduct, then you would do best to probably look to the Yoruba space. So these people, they especially want the approval of Yoruba people, especially because they have no regard for the Igbo people, who are also civilized, by the way, but they especially look for approval from the Yoruba people. And that approval, of course, is the potent weapon that we have to hold over them. As guys, I bring you this. Nigerian Bar Association withdraws El Rufai's invitation as speaker at conference over Kaduna incidents. So yes, the Nigerian Bar Association had invited our short little man from Kaduna State to be a speaker at their conference. And of course, the one thing, because El Rufai positions himself as a thinker and an intellectual within his own region, and the thinking and intellectualism, of course, within the Nigerian space is centrally mainly focused within Lagos State, and especially amongst the Yoruba people. So, of course, for him to get the green card of being an intellectual within the Nigerian space, he has to have the approval of Lagos and especially the Yoruba people. And of course, one of the pathways to that is appearing in occasions like this and speaking to laudable intellectuals like the people that will be gathered at this particular conference. So again, the headline: Nigerian Bar Association withdraws El Rufai's invitation as speaker at conference over Kaduna incident. So now let's now see how this plays out. The Nigerian Bar Association has withdrawn its invitation to Governor Nasir El Rufai of Kaduna State to speak at the association's annual general meeting. The association took the decision at its just concluded National Executive Committee meeting. NBA said it took this. The association took the decision at its just concluded National Executive Committee meeting. NBA said it took the decision so that the governor can have more time to focus on the incidents in southern parts of Kaduna. Several Nigerian lawyers had in the past days registered their discontent over the decision of the leadership of the NBA to include Governor El Rufai as a guest speaker in the conference. The conference holds from August the 26th to August the 29th. The conference holds from August the 26th to August the 29th. Others billed to speak at the session include Yemsom Wike, governor of Rivers State, Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State, and vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party at the 2019 election, Tunde Bakare, cleric and chairman, African Advisory Council of Royal Commonwealth Society. Let me just pause there for a moment. Tunde Bakare was not the presidential or the vice presidential candidate of the PDP for 2019. Certainly not. That was Peter Obi. So I think maybe that was a lost in sequence. So we carry on. Obi is a Kweseli, an activist and former minister, and Sulamatu Sulaiman, immediate past ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security. Other speakers at the conference include Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo, Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Tanko Mohammed, Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, a former president, Ike Ikerimadu, former Deputy Senate President, and Abubakar Malami. The association took the decision at its just concluded National Executive Committee meeting. NBA said it took the decision so that the governor can have more time to focus on the incidents in southern parts of Kaduna. Several Nigerian lawyers had in the past days registered their discontent over the decision of the leadership of the NBA to include Governor El Rufai as a guest speaker in the conference. The conference holds from August the 26th to August the 29th. Others billed to speak at the session include Yemsom Wike, governor of Rivers State, Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State, and vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party at the 2019 election, Tunde Bakare, cleric and chairman, African Advisory Council of Royal Commonwealth Society. Obi Ezekwesili, an activist and former minister, and Sulamatu Sulaiman, immediate past ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security. Other speakers at the conference include Vice President Yemi Oshibanjo, Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Tanko Mohammed, Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, a former president, Ike Ikerimadu, former deputy Senate president, and Abubakar Malami. So the high and mighty within the Nigerian space all are present and complete, at least as it stands at the moment. The high and mighty at the moment within the Nigerian space are all invited, but our little man from Kaduna State, he can continue to stay in Kaduna State and continue with his Fulani headsmen. So this is now the development now within the Nigerian space. Firm dismissal from the Nigerian Bar Association, and by extension the southern part of Nigeria, because of course the weight of the Nigerian Bar Association is to the southern part of Nigeria, because of course all the intellectuals, a good 80% of them are in the southern part, and a good 80-90% of the lawyers in the country are from the southern part. So a firm dismissal that go with your Jamja weeds, but do not come near us here, because we do not approve of your kind, is effectively what the Nigerian Bar Association is saying. So I shall be doing back-to-back videos on this particular topic. I might well match them into one. So this video that you're watching now, it might well extend on and on, or it could be a different video to follow it on. I've not yet made that decision, but I'll run this one off here, and one might well be tagged on at the back end of it or not. But conversations in the comment section is what I am inviting. Come share thoughts. Our little man from Kaduna State has been dismissed out of hand. Come tell me what you think in the comment section. Click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, then come join me in the comment section to engage in a conversation on this particular subject matter. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, staying with the El Rufai dismissed by the Nigerian Bar Association matter, dismissed of course because they have withdrawn their invitation for him to come and speak at their conference. So the fallout of that continues unabated, as guys I bring you this. El Rufai lacks moral right to address lawyers. Falana writes, MBA. So Femi Falana, of course, all matters legal, he has an opinion on it, and is first to the cameras to voice them. And here he is voicing his opinion on this matter as per his want. Again, the headline, El Rufai lacks moral right to address lawyers. Falana writes NBA. So now let's now see what the SAN said to the NBA. Femi Falana, popular activist lawyer, has said that Governor Nasir El Rufai of Kaduna State lacks the moral right to speak at the 60th Nigerian Bar Association NBA conference. Falana said El Rufai has a penchant of disobeying court orders right from when he was a minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. He explained that El Rufai's action was inconsistent with the rules of MBA. The activist lawyer stated this in a letter to the MBA's Technical Committee, Conference Planning Committee. Galima's letter reads partly. So I don't know who Galima is, but Galima's letter reads partly. You will agree with us that Malam El Rufai's penchant for disobeying court orders is inconsistent with the aims and objectives of the Nigerian Bar Association, which includes promotion of rule of law. El Rufai was built to be one of the speakers at the MBA conference scheduled for March the 26th to March the 29th, 2020. However, his inclusion led to outrage and backlash even on social media. Nigerians and lawyers cited his comments on Southern Kaduna incidents, alleged disdain for court orders, amongst others. Following the condemnation by Nigerians, MBA had bowed to pressure and withdrew El Rufai's invitation. So Falana chimes in, and of course, Get Lost is always Falana's commentary to the likes of Nasir El Rufai, some jumped up little upstart from Kaduna State, who is hiding under daddy's wings because, of course, his popsy, his pops is Daddy O. Malam Buhari is the president, so he feels he can run amok, and run amok he has been doing since 2015, but not at the MBA conference apparently, and according to the lawyers in Nigeria. Conversations in the comment section. Femi Falana posts the smackdown on El Rufai, and a round of applause from me. What does he get from you? Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns grey. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come join me then in the comment section. Come tell me what you're making of this palaver. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, Nasir El Rufai of Kaduna State responds to the ongoing palaver with the Nigerian Bar Association, and here is what he has to say. As guys, I bring you this. Governor El Rufai blows hot as MBA cancels his invitation to conference. So of course it's not one for taking it lying down, and taking it lying down he is not, as he responds. Again, Governor El Rufai blows hot as MBA cancels his invitation to conference. So now let's now see what our Kaduna State governor has to say. The governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El Rufai, has said the withdrawal of his invitation to speak at this year's Nigerian Bar Association conference is an unfortunate embrace of injustice. El Rufai said this in a statement signed by his spokesman, Muyiwa Adekeye, on Thursday. The MBA withdrew the invitation following protest from some lawyers. However, El Rufai in the statement insisted that he will continue to offer his opinion on critical issues in the country, and his voice will not be silenced. Whilst the decision about who speaks at its event is clearly the MBA's, Malam El Rufai wishes to make clear that he did not seek the platform and is not agitated that he has one less speaking engagement. However, the circumstances of the last few days warrant some comments that a professional organization has elected to endorse a one-sided narrative on a profound national issue is something that its member may wish to reflect upon. For an association whose bread and butter is about justice, to make a ruling based on the stringency of people who lampoon judicial processes against certain individuals without hearing the other side is odd. It bears noting that in its response to pressure, the NBA leadership has signaled an unfortunate embrace of injustice, unfairness, absence of fair hearing, and total disregard for the rule of law, the statement reads. So El Rufai now, of course, accusing the Nigerian Bar Association of not allowing him to come to their party. Perhaps he should just head to Aso Rock and report them to his daddy. No doubt the daddy will send the DSS after the Nigerian Bar Association and go lock them up for being disrespectful to his son or whatever. You know, disrespecting the president is a crime now within the Nigerian state. This is what they are using to hold what is his name, Showore. So disrespecting mini daddy, small daddy, which is El Rufai, of course, must equally be egregious to the system as well. So all El Rufai needs to do is to go to his daddy in Aso Rock and report that these NBA people to his daddy, that they are not allowing him to come and play with them, and I'm sure he will send Yusuf Bichi after them to go and do the necessary conversations in the comment section. Our short little man in Kaduna State is now a crybaby because the Nigerian Bar Association are not inviting him to their party. Come share thoughts, but before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then click on the like button as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come tell me then what you're making of this rather laughable statement that has been issued by El Rufai via his Yoruba spokesperson. So you can see this subplot of that in there as well, which is inbuilt. That did not pass me by the way. So I'll meet you in the comment section and I'll leave you here, but here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So we're still sticking with that same theme, Yoruba and Fulani, but this time friendly fire. So here we have in this next video, Babachir Lawal, the infamous grass cutter, eulogizing the virtues of Tinubu. It is quite a sight to behold, and it is all detailed in this next video, so enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we are now starting to get the details of what went down in 2015 that has now led us to this point of no return of the Malam Buhari experience. As guys, I bring you this. Tinubu transformed Buhari's image, funded his 2015 election, a headline attributed to Babachir Lawal. So Babachir Lawal, of course, somebody that straddles the two divides of the Tinubuist and the Buhariist, so the north and the south. So he's well poised now, and he was one of the key architects of the whole Buhari campaign, the whole Buhari project in 2015. So he's at the front seat of the whole drive through that brought this guy in. So he's best positioned now to now give us these details of exactly what happened then. So again, the headline: Tinubu transformed Buhari's image, funded his 2015 election, a headline attributed to Babachir Lawal. So now let's now see what the grass cutter has to say. Babachir Lawal has lifted the lead on how Bola Tinubu helped President Muhammadu Buhari win the 2015 presidential election. Speaking to a newspaper recently, the former secretary to the government of the Federation said Tinubu, a former governor of Lagos State, packaged President Buhari for Nigerians before the 2015 election. Lawal revealed how the APC national leader was the strong force of financial support for Buhari, adding that he, Tinubu, was a colossus of the Southwest politics. According to him, there is no denying that there is a Tinubu factor in the APC. Lawal stressed that prior to the 2015 election, the North was not with Buhari, but it was Tinubu who made the merger and Buhari's primary election victory possible. On the financial contribution of the former Lagos State governor, Lawal said, "Everybody knows Buhari had no money and he doesn't play money politics. So he won his presidential primary election without spending money. Also, Buhariists didn't have money. They only had ideas, zeal, and fanaticism. And politics requires money." The former SGF said Ahmed Tinubu played a key role in selling Buhari agenda for Nigerians. At the time, Nigerians saw Buhari as just a wood. He had no emotions. People were not seeing him as a loving husband and father and doubted if he could be humane. It was Tinubu who brought in consultants from the United States, the firm behind the successful execution of President Barack Obama's campaign. It helped to repackage Buhari to Nigerians. That was when you started seeing Buhari wearing a suit and in Igbo, Yoruba, and Kanuri attires. The strategy was to transform his image and show a humane, loving, and trustworthy person. It helped us. It had earlier been reported that Babachir had tipped the former Lagos State Governor Bola Tinubu for the 2023 presidency. So that is a different headline, and I shall actually add that today. So I'll just do that story as well. So let me just round this one off. Lawal, who added his voice to the 2023 presidency and the politics of zoning, said the APC national leader must be given a strong backing to succeed President Buhari because he has done a lot for the ruling party. So let's now go to that story where Babachir tipped Tinubu for the presidency. 2023 presidency, APC must create room for Tinubu, others to contest, a headline attributed to Babachir Lawal. So now let's just go through this fairly quickly. Babachir Lawal, a former secretary to the federal government of the federation, has tipped former Lagos State Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the presidency in 2023. Lawal, who added his voice to the 2023 presidency and the politics of zoning, said the All Progressive Congress APC national leader must be given a strong backing to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari because he has done a lot for the ruling party. The former SGF, who declared himself as a Tinubu man, further stated that he, Tinubu, was the financial powerhouse of the President Buhari campaign in 2015. According to him, the APC national leader was the arrowhead of the democratic revolution that made the defeat of former President Goodluck Jonathan possible. Lawal said the former Lagos State governor lives for politics and he is the force behind President Buhari's victory in 2015. Speaking about the former Lagos governor, Lawal described Tinubu as a man who had his tentacles spread across the corporate world, was the only man who knew where and how to raise the funds needed. Tinubu doesn't like to take credit for what he does. He lives for politics, gets his money from politics, and spends it on politics. He has no other interest except politics. The money that is spent out of his pocket that is unaccounted for outside of the party's campaign finances are quite enormous. I know this because he's my friend and because I am also involved in the Buhari government. Therefore, except we want to bring the wrath of God on our heads, which we don't want, the party must create an environment that is free and fair for anybody who wants to contest, including Tinubu, to do so. Let us vote for Tinubu, the former SGF said. Meanwhile, as politicians continue to outplay one another ahead of the 2023 general election, a founding member of APC, Buba Galadima, has said the leadership crisis rocking the party is a result of the politics of 2023 presidency. Galadima, who made this known whilst speaking recently, further buttressed that the power play in the ruling party has huge connection with the ambition of some party chieftains who want to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari after his tenure. So, of course, we all know the names at play, especially the arrowhead being, what's his name? The little guy from Kaduna State, El Rufai, a very lost little mischief maker. But there you have it now. The politics of 2023 carries on unabated. Babachir Lawal comes out to throw his hat in the ring of the Tinubu camp, a Tinubu man, he calls himself. So those are his words, and you can only go by his words. But the subplot and intrigues are coming out now, and we are able to glean then some of what happened in 2015. So apparently they went to bring in all these PR experts from the United States, the people who apparently acted as consultants for Barack Obama to come and rebrand and reshape Malam Buhari, who everybody thought it was just like a homogeneous, androgynous Fulani guy, to come and put him in the red cap of the Igbos and put him in the Danshiki of the Yorubas to try and give him a national coloration. But then, of course, as soon as Malam Buhari got hold of what he wanted, he reverted back to type. Dyed in the wool, steeped in the wool, never to change, Janjaweedist, Fulanist, and a religious bigot. This is what this guy has always been all of his life. And I said this to give myself, just to exempt myself from the people that were fooled. I said this all the way through that 2015 election. Unfortunately, I had not started this channel then, so I cannot bring you proof of that. But on my Facebook walls and to all my friends, I said, look, this guy is a very lost rich little bigot, a nepotist, a Fulani supremacist. This has always been his instinct all the way through, and I cannot see now, or at his great age, him now changing his color. He said in an interview in the build-up to 2015, in fairness to him, that he has not really changed that much as a person, but then of course they were trying to build him off his reputation of being strict and being fastidious and being straightforward. So that was why he said that. But then, of course, there's truth in what he said then. He has not really changed. Who he is what we are seeing now. A very lost little Fulani man who has no thoughts outside of Daura. Conversations in the comment section, the plot and the intrigues and the subplots and the maneuverings for 2023 has now reached full pelt. There's no disguising it anymore. The politics of 2023 has been kicked off, and it's in full play now. Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns grey. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come join me in the comment section. Then come tell me what you're making of these machinations that is going on within the Nigerian nation. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say peace. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, I brought you this story just a few hours ago. So now we hear from the horse's mouth itself. She had been to Dubai recently under the guise of a medical trip, but of course on a shopping trip for her daughter's wedding, which is coming up on the 4th of September. So she had gone on a shopping trip to Dubai. Now on the way back from that shopping trip, the plane hit a turbulence, and this is all narrated in this next video. So enjoy. Hope you enjoyed that. So finally, we're going to the east to visit our Igbo cousins. So a list of 11 possible presidential candidates for the Igbo people for 2023 has been drawn up. So the runners and riders on that list are all detailed in this next video. So enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, there are two approaches to the Igbo experience within the Nigerian space. There's the Nnamdi Kanu IPOB led sort of approach, which is all sound and fury, signifying nothing, all bluster, no bang. Then there's a more serious approach that takes the realistic view that we are vested within this Nigerian experience, and within that experience then we must make the best of as we can. So that approach presents this as, guys, I give you this 2023 presidency. Igbo groups suggest 11 persons from the southeast. So that approach, as I said, which is a contrast to the Nnamdi IPOB approach, an approach that sees the Nigerian nation as the experience of the Igbo at the moment, and then they have to first work within it. They are now presenting people then for the build-up for 2023. So again, the headline, 2023 presidency, Igbo group suggests 11 persons from the southeast. So let's now see what table of names the Igbos are presenting. A political association, Igbo for President Solidarity Group, has suggested 11 politicians from the southeastern states that are qualified to be presented as presidential candidates in 2023 general election. The president of the association, Dr. Olukayode Oshariyo, announced the names after the meeting of the Congress in Abuja on Friday, observing that the time had come for the country to produce a president from amongst the Igbos. IPSC has come to the conclusion that in 2023, a man or woman of Igbo extraction will become the president of Nigeria. IPSC will engage in consultations across the 6 geopolitical zones, visitations to Emir, Obas, Ezes, Obis, and chiefs to discuss and examine the character and integrity of the 11 persons suggested, he said. Amongst persons suggested by the group are Dr. Ogbonaya Onu, Peter Obi, Dr. Chris Ngege, Rochas Okorocha, Dave Umahi, Oji Uzokalu, Ike Ikerimadu, and Eyinaya Abaribe. So now let's now go through. Let's just complete the list first, and then we'll examine the names. Others are Ifeanyi Agwayi, Ifeanyi Uba, and Kingsley Mogalu. So let's go through those names again. Ogbonaya Onu, Peter Obi, Chris Ngege, Rochas Okorocha, Dave Umahi, Oji Uzokalu, Ike Ikiremadu, Eyinaya Iberibe, Ifeanyi Agwayi, Ifeanyi Uba, and Kingsley Mogalu. So out of all of those names, I have not seen a president there. Certainly not Rochas Okorocha, because the people of Imo State will tell you stories about him. And certainly not Oji Uzokalu, who is presently, or should be, or has just recently come out of Kirikiri. Eyinaya Abaribe, I can see, because Eyinaya Abaribe is a serious person. Kingsley Mogalu is far too intellectual, because he more wants to talk about the theory than the practical of it. So out of the entirety of those names, Onu, Peter Obi, Ngige, Okorocha, etc., Orji Uzor Kalu, Ike Ikiremadu. You remember how Ike Ikiremadu was flogged by Nnamdi Kanu in Europe not that long ago. So out of the entirety of that name, there's really only one name that sticks out, and it is, of course, Enyinaya Abaribe. All of them, the rest of them, they're just much ado about nothing. So we carry on. Since 1999, Southwest, Northwest, South have produced presidents. Conventionally, power rotates for equity and justice as implied in the principles of federal character. Therefore, in 2023, passionate consideration should be accorded the Southeast as the only zone in the southern region that has yet to produce a president. Oshiariyo added. So Oshiariyo added, but Oshiariyo can add anything that he likes. If my recollection is right, the Southeast has actually produced a president, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was, of course, a president in Nigeria, and it was, I think, probably the first president actually that the Nigerian state had. So certainly the Southeast has produced a president, but more to the point is the Southeast don't actually have a champion. This is really the thing that a lot of people are saying, and I too have said this on this channel severally, because if you go through the names, and I made it a point to go through those names, there is nobody, no matter how Igbo you are, that you can point to amongst those names, setting aside Senator Abaribe, that is of the quality to be presented as a Nigerian president. Certainly not Ogbonaya Onu, certainly not Peter Obi, as it's Peter Obi that will be telling you China, China, China all the time. They ridiculed him throughout that last presidential debate for his, in fact, I think there was a time that Kiyamo started calling him China man. So he's a complete object of ridicule within the Nigerian space. So certainly not Ogbonaya or Peter Obi, and certainly not Chris Ngige that was doing kung fu fighting in the House of Representatives not that long ago, doing name calling with parliamentarians because he was being asked a question, and certainly not Rochas Okorocha, Mr. Iberiberism. Now, Dave Umahi, I don't know who he is, and the fact that I don't know who he is automatically disqualifies him because he doesn't have name recognition. Orji Uzor Kalu, he was in Kirikiri barely 2 months ago, so I don't quite see. And Kirikiri not for a prisoner of conscience, but a prisoner of corruption. He had looted so much from his state in the eastern state, whichever state that he was in charge of for whatever period. He looted that much that even the Nigerian state, one of the most corrupt states on the planet, balked at the level of looting that this guy did, that they had to put him in prison. So corruption 101, Orji Uzor Kalu, Ike Ikiremadu is too lightweight. Enyinaya Abaribe, I like. Ifeanyi, whatever, Ugwuanyi, I don't know him, so he disqualifies on name recognition. Ifeanyi Uba, I don't know him, so he disqualifies on name recognition. And Kingsley Moghalu, well, he's just too intellectual for the position. So there's really no Igbo champion. The only champion within the Igbo experience is really Nnamdi Kanu. If you look at the entirety of the Igbo space and you look for somebody that has the gravitas and the cojones and the just the bite and the verve and the pump for that level, is somebody like Nnamdi Kanu. But what Nnamdi Kanu's potency is more to the sounds and the fury. Nnamdi Kanu has no work experience. I cannot recall, I am not aware that this guy has ever been in any form of employment or been in charge of anything outside of that IPOB movement ever in his adult life. I don't know what his work history is, but his work history cannot be of any significance that will qualify him for that position. So all he has is the pump and verve of the IPOB movement and his Biafra radio, shouting Efulefu on Biafra radio all the time. This is really the only thing that Nnamdi Kanu has to offer. So there's no real champion amongst the Igbos. If you want to find out who a champion is, then I detest this guy, by the way. I am no fan of his, but you will look at somebody like Tinubu and you will say that he has the recognition and the status for the position. If you look at somebody like Atiku Abubakar, you will say he has the recognition and the status for the position. If you look at Babangida, etc., he has the recognition and the status for the position. So somebody like all these names that have been listed by this group now speaking on behalf of the Igbos and trying to promote an Igbo name for the presidency, there's none within all of those names that captures the heart and sends the senses to the thought that this person has the attributes that is required for the position. So this is really where the difficulty is within the Igbo race. They do not have a champion. Conversations in the comment section, the list of 11 by the Igbo race, but I cannot pick one of them as an outstanding person. Can you? And if you can, then come tell me all about it in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come join me in the comment section. Come tell me what you're making of this Igbo move. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say, peace. Hope you enjoyed that and hope you enjoyed all of the videos that have been presented for this week. I hope they met with your liking, and please come into the comment section to discuss them either individually or collectively. Apologies again for not bringing you Roundup for last week. It was circumstances beyond my control, but I shall try and ensure as much as it's within my powers to make this a regular thing. So come share thoughts, but before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Then Amotekun, Nigerian Bar Association, Babachir Lawal, turbulence for Aisha Buhari, and an Igbo list. So the list is plentiful and the conversation should be interesting. So I'll await you in the comment section, but here I say peace.